Today we're changing camshaft position sensors on my 2006 Nissan Murano. I have replaced these once before, so I'm going to give you a walkthrough of how to do it. It's a lot easier than it sounds. Okay, so here's the car, and this is a V6 car, V6 engine, excuse me. So it has two camshafts, therefore two camshaft position sensors. The one on the front bank is right down here. The tip of the logo in there is touching it. It has a little bit of a green piece of plastic on the clip. That's the front sensor. And then, this might be a little tough to see because it gets kind of deep in there, but the rear sensor is back here. Here's a slightly better view of that sensor. You'll notice that this one has a straight plug on it. It goes plugs straight into the sensor, while this one here actually has an angled plug on it. So this is the front. The other one I just showed you just a moment ago was the rear. Okay, so this plug is a little bit unusual. What's going to happen here is this green tab actually has to be pushed straight down in that orientation in order to release the plug. So that's going to get pushed straight down. I'll have to use a tool. It needs to take a little bit of force. You see I already did it once there. Push it down until it clicks, and that actually releases the pressure on the plug, and you can pull the plug straight off. Just like that. So now for the front sensor, it's just a matter of pulling off this bolt here, pulling the sensor straight out, reinstalling the new sensor, reattaching your bolt. In order to access the rear sensor, I'm going to go ahead and take off this air plenum here, this hole from back here all the way forward, probably to this clamp. Get all that out of my way so I can reach in. The rear one is a little harder to get at, but it's not that bad. This is actually a relatively straightforward procedure. Here's a better view of the rear sensor. I've already pressed that clip straight in to release the tension that it's holding on the sensor. And then all I need to do now is just use a gentle twist of a flat blade screwdriver and pushes it straight off. As you can see, the sensor is very similar. And again, you just have this single bolt. That single bolt there will be the one you have to remove, and that sensor pulls straight out. Plenty of clearance in the rear sensor to pull that bolt out without any problem. On the front sensor, I've opted to use a 1/4 inch universal joint and a shallow 10 mil socket, just because the water inlet here is so close. It's a little tough to get something else in there. So I think if you watch this far and you can handle the disassembly, the reassembly is the same, just in reverse. I just want to show you a little bit more about how these plugs work. So what we did here, as I showed you, is there's a plastic section on the bottom of this plug where my fingernail is pointing. That gets pushed in to be able to pull the plug back off. Okay. Now what's going to happen when the plug gets put back on is the sensor is going to push this whole part back in place and lock the plug on. So when you push it in, you should feel a good solid click. This one here, I'm going to have to spray a little bit of, just a small amount of grease on, because this one's a little bit sticky. When I was pushing it back on the old sensor, it wasn't clicking every time. But you want to watch for that click, because that's what's going to hold the plug in nice and tight. What I'll probably do here when I reassemble is I'll probably give this a slight push in the rearward direction. For instance, right now, there's a little bit of spring pressure there, so I don't think it's stuck anymore. But just watch for that, and it's going to be a pretty satisfying click when you plug it back in. So here's the new sensors that I got. Basically, I was able to purchase these sensors more than 2 years ago at a national auto parts store. I'm not going to share the name, but I was able to get them with a limited lifetime warranty. So after more than 2 years ago, I was able to go back, swap these back out again. When I purchased them, they're approximately $60 or $70 each, and got them with a lifetime warranty. That's what I would recommend, because the vehicle was 6 years old when I replaced them the first time, and it only took a little more than another 2 years after that for them to need replacement again. So if you're going to buy these sensors, I would recommend buying them from one of the national outlets that gives you a lifetime warranty. I'm not a big fan of buying parts like this from the dealer. Of course you can if you like. I don't know that they're going to last any longer. I'm not really sure. But that's the way I chose to do it, and it worked pretty good for me. Thanks for watching.